everyone, welcome back to my channel. As you can see, I'm in a new filming location. Yes, I am filming while I am away. My gracious friend was very happy to lend me his living room, so I'm going to try and be as quick as possible. As you can tell by this title, I will be revealing my August TBR in this video, and I'm really happy to say that it will be sequels. So these will be sequels to books I have read this year or last year. Not a lot of people know this outside of my personal friends, but I am atrocious at reading sequels to books I have loved near to the time when I read the first book. For example, one of the books in this pile, I read the first book in that series at the beginning of 2019. It has now been packed away because in my room I don't have enough shelves for all the books I've read, and subsequently I can't show you that book. So yeah, I realised I had a little bit of a problem with how much time I left reading books in the series, so I'm real happy to say, like I said, that this theme for this month will be sequels. And to start it off, the first book I will be reading is The Princess and the Fangirl by Ashley Poston. As you can tell by the title, this is kind of a modern retelling of The Prince and the Pauper, and it is a sequel to Geekerella by Ashley Poston. In Geekerella, this obviously is a modern version of Cinderella, and you follow Elle and Darian. Elle's father created a Comic-Con for a really loved sci-fi series. Darian had been, Darian, I do apologise. Darian had been cast as the lead character in the movie, and you see their relationship develop like Cinderella. In The Princess and the Fangirl, you now follow Darian's co-star in the movie, who wants to move on from this series and doesn't want to play her character anymore. Unfortunately for her, there is a fangirl who is determined to make sure her favourite character isn't killed off. They meet at the Comic-Con that I mentioned, which is called Excelsior, I believe. No, sorry, Excelsior. Do apologise out there. There is a case of mistaken identity at Excelsior, and they become enemies, hence the title. So Darian's co-star is called Jess, and after Excelsior, the script for the sequel is leaked, and Jess is the firm favourite to be the person who leaked it. So for her and Isabel, who is the fangirl, for them to find out who the real culprit is, they need to swap places. And they find out a lot, and especially about the dark world of cons, I believe. Yeah, dark side of a fandom. So they need to find a way to rescue themselves from their own expectations and redefine what it means to live happily ever after. I am really hoping this will be a female-female romance, just going off the back and that description. I think it will be. I loved Geekerella, that had been on my list for years before I got around to reading it. So I am hoping The Princess and the Fangirl will be the same. I know there is a third book being released that is based on, a loose retelling of Beauty and the Beast. So I am hoping by the end of this year I will have got to that as well. The second book on my TBR is the biggest one today, and that is The Well of Ascension by Brandon Sanderson. This is the sequel to The Final Empire, and this is book 2 in the Mistborn series. So in book 2 you are still following Vin and Elend. She used to be a street urchin, and then they realise that she's actually one of the most powerful Mistborns in years. And Elend is a royal who, is he a royal? Well, he's a young nobleman royal, they're all the same to me, who happened to fall in love with her when she was masquerading as a noble woman. They have beaten the bad guy. Spoilers, I do apologise. They beat the bad guy in the first book, and in the second book you are following them as they try to build a new healthy society. However, they are attacked by 3 separate armies at the same time, and to try and help them, they follow a legend of Yeah, so they follow the ancient legend. They try to find the ancient legend of the Well of Ascension, and you follow them trying to find it and to see what power they hold. This is the second book in a series of what was initially 3 and is now 6, I believe. Like I said, it is the biggest in my book TBR list this month. It is like 740 pages, I believe. So this will take a couple of days to get through. The Final Empire was the first proper adult sci-fi, I'll say, sci-fi fantasy, that I picked up, and I really enjoyed it. So I'm hoping the second one will be as good. I plan on reading one every few months, so hopefully that can continue. Books 3 and 4 are part of the same series, and they are God's Grave and Dark Dawn by J. Kristoff. This is a pretty popular series, so I think you know what they are sequels to, and that is Nevernight by J. Kristoff. In Nevernight, you follow Mia Covey, who, when she is 10, her father is killed for being a traitor, and she is separated from her mother and her younger brother. She then goes to find the Red Church, who lead the assassins in the world and kind of the enemies for the people who killed her parents. And she wants to be trained to be one of their assassins, and you follow her in the training. In God's Grave, it follows on from what happens in Nevernight, where Mia is now at odds with the Red Church as to where she belongs within them. She then finds out that 2 of the people who were involved in her father's death are going to be involved in the games that are called God's Grave. The God's Grave games. Why is that so hard to say? They very rarely come out in public. This is a perfect opportunity for her to try and get them. She sells herself as a slave, which is going against what the Red Church wants. She then has to decide between her loyalties and her revenge. Dark Dawn even, sorry. So in Dark Dawn, I haven't read the back of it, however, because I don't want to spoil it for myself, so I won't be talking about that, and I will cover up the back so I don't read it. Now on to the sequel, where I don't have the first book, and that is A Necessary Evil by Abir Mukherjee. I'm so sorry if I butchered your name. This is the sequel to A Rising Man. In A Rising Man, you follow Captain Sam Wyndham in India when the British are still there, and it's part of the British Empire. In this one, it follows against Captain Sam Wyndham in India in 1920. He is visiting the kingdom of Sambalpur, I believe. Yeah, Sambalpur, when the Maharaja's eldest son is murdered, and he realises that not all is well in the realm. When Wyndham realises all not is well, he realises the victim was actually at odds with religious groups in the area, and his younger brother, who is now the heir, was seen as a playboy. Then Wyndham and his co-worker, Sergeant Surendranath Banerjee, please, I do not ask me why he's called Surendranath, go read the book. Part of the reason I loved A Rising Man was because of their working relationship. So yeah, back to this book. While they are trying to sort out the murders, they realise they are entangled in a dangerous world, and they need to find the murderer quick before the murderer finds them. This is the second book in the Rising Man series. I believe there are maybe 1 or 2 more, I'm not too sure. A Rising Man was one of the first books I'd ever read from like the early 1900s. That wasn't set in the UK or Americas. The United States of America. So I really enjoyed it. I'm hoping this will be another really good book from Abir. Apparently, according to the Times, it confirms he is a rising star of historical crime fiction. I'm hoping that is true, because I'm hoping I can lead on from this and read other books in historical crime fiction. Book number 6 on my list is Storm Tides by Den Patrick. This is the sequel to Witch Sign. Witch Sign is the first book in the Ashen Torment series. You follow a young boy called Steiner, who lives in an empire that 75 years ago got rid of the dragons. And there is a new empire called the Solmindre Empire was born. You follow Steiner, who works with his dad, who's like a metalsmith, and his little sister. The Empire is trying to get rid of all children with magic powers, and it has always been seen that Steiner's little sister, Gell, because Kgell something is Gell. If I'm pronouncing that wrong, let me know, please. Has powers, and when the people come from the Empire try to get her, they are called Vigilants. I do apologise, I'm butchering this book. When the Vigilants come to assess all the children in their village, Steiner stands in for his sister and goes to an island where all children with magic powers go. And from there, you see him take down the Empire or release the dragon, which you then follow in Stormtide. So in Stormtide, you follow Steiner, Gell, Kimme, who is a foreign princess in this empire. And you follow Silverdust, who is a Cinderace. And to find out what a Cinderace is, read Witch Sign, because I can't remember. Joking. A Cinderace is what happens when a person is killed on the island where all the witches and wizards type people live. So in Stormtide, you follow them 4 characters. These are 4 characters you have learned to love from Witch Sign, and I am really looking forward to it, because instead of them all kind of wanting the same thing as in Witch Sign, which is to get off that island, in Stormtide they are all doing their own things. So Steiner is going to find the Emperor. Gell is going to find redemption. The foreign princess is becoming allied to the dragons, and the Silverdust Cinderace is hunting for vengeance. So you follow 4 different stories. I really, really enjoyed Witch Sign. Sorry, I can see my friend. So yeah, I really, really enjoyed Witch Sign, so I'm hoping I'm enjoying Stormtide. I believe the 3rd book isn't out yet, because I think I got this on the 1st day it was released, so I'm really, really looking forward to it. Book number 7 is going to break my heart, and that is Capturing the Devil by Kerry Maniscalco. This is the 4th and final book in the Jack the Ripper series, which has quickly become one of my favourite series of all time. So in this series, you follow Audrey Rose Wadsworth and Thomas Cresswell, who are apprentices for Audrey Rose's uncle, kind of like apprentice morticians. This is set in the Victorian time, so it is very, very odd for a woman to work as an apprentice mortician, even so when Audrey Rose's father is part of the nobles. In the first 4 books, you see Wadsworth and Cresswell sort out investigations in the Jack the Ripper series, then in Romania for hunting Prince Dracula, and thirdly they are on a cruise ship with Houdini and the Travelling Circus. And in this book you follow them in Chicago around the time of the H.H. Holmes murders and the Murder House Hotel. Like I said, this is the 4th book in the series and it is the last, and I am devastated. However, like I say, it's the 4th book and last book in the series, which I'm devastated about. However, I'm pretty sure I will love it as much as Kerry's other books, and I'm really looking forward to Kerry's series later in the year. So, book number 8 on my TBR is not a sequel, and neither is book 9, and that is because I ran out of sequels. So, book number 8 is The Essex Serpent by Sarah Perry. So, the reason this is on my TBR is because my goal for this year was to read all my books on my TBR at the end of last year. This is the last book on that list, so I want it read as soon as possible. Hence the reason I have started it, and it is not officially August 1st. In this book, you follow a new widow called Cora, who after her husband's death leaves London for Essex for a fresh start with her son and her son's maid. While she is there, she hears the rumour of the mythical Essex Serpent, who kills people, children and murders livestock. That was really awkward, I do apologise. So Cora is an amateur naturalist who doesn't have anything to do with religion or superstition. She is convinced that this isn't a magical beast but a previously undiscovered species. And while she is looking for this species, she is introduced to William Ransom, a vicar, and you follow their lives and how they impact each other in mysterious ways. I am currently about 20% way through this book. Normally by now I know if I love a book, if it's like nah, or if it's not going to be my fashion. At this moment, if I had to rate this book, it would be 1.5 stars, which is the lowest I've ever given a book at this point in time. And that is because there has been grammatical errors, editing errors, to the point where I've had to hand my friend the book and go, am I the only one reading this wrong? So yeah, at the moment 1.5 stars. I think I might give it another 10 or 20%, and if I'm not enjoying it then even less. I might just DNF it, but let's see how it goes, and I will let you know in my wrap up what happens. And lastly, but by no means least, book number 9 is Cinderella is Dead by Kaylin Byron, or Byron. Kaylin or Callan, if I'm pronouncing your name wrong, I am really, really sorry, but I really, really love this book. So this book, you follow a village 200 years after the story of Cinderella, where every girl is told the story from the day she is born until the day she is invited to a royal ball to be picked by a man. If you aren't picked, you are known as a forfeit. So Sophia, the girl you follow, doesn't want to be picked by a man. She doesn't want to go to the ball, but she's worried that the girl she loves will be picked at the ball. And you are following Sophia as she tries to find her own way, and see if she can make a world where she gets to choose who she is with. This is an FF female romance. I think they're called sapphics. I'm very new to this world, I'm really sorry if they're not. But as soon as I heard about this book, it was pre-ordered. It didn't matter, I had about 7 other books pre-ordered this month. I wanted this book. And Waterstones, so very, very kindly, thank you so much, dispatched it to me a couple of days, well actually about a week early. So I was able to include it in this video. They probably didn't do it for that reason, but I want to believe they did because I pre-ordered so many books with them. Yeah, so this is book 9 on my list. I'm really, really looking forward to this. I may read it after the Essex Serpent because I want to read it so much. Well, actually, it's a toss-up between this and Capturing the Devil. I'll see which one wins. So, yeah, that is my August TBR theme reveal, whatever you want to call it. What do you think of the books on my list? Have you read them? Have you enjoyed them? Have you not? Please let me know down below. If you want, like normal, if you want to give me tips on filming and editing, let me know down below. Follow me on Instagram. My Insta handle will be down below in the description box. As always, I will let you know what I think about all these books in my August wrap up. However, if you want a quick sneak, little glimpse of what my star rating may be, follow me on Instagram where I post the books after I've read them, so you know in which order they will be in my August wrap up. I'm not planning on doing a week-long reading vlog for any of these. However, I may do so for the Nevernight books or for Capturing the Devil, I'm not sure. Next week I will be doing my first book tag, which I'm really, really looking forward to. I got the inspiration for the book tag from Not Another Booktube channel, who I will link down below, and her video. So that will be out next Saturday. Hopefully once this video is out, I will quickly do my July wrap up, and that will be out 3 days after this one. Yeah, so like I said, talk to me down below, talk to me on Instagram. Any hints and tips will be great. And if not, I will see you in my next video. Bye!